I truly believe that no one is like talented. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like talent to me is like every single time in my life where I basically have felt like I was at rock bottom, it has always been a springboard into bigger and better things. And then this is like the stuff that I tell myself as well when stuff is hitting the fan. It's
Mm.
like, hey, like every single time this happens, I always like bounce back even better than I was before. And basically I used that particular situation as enough energy to really transform the business. And then at that point in time, people were like, after about like a year, people were copying us. People were calling their own gyms like body transformation centers. Like people were copying our systems. People were copying everything that we were doing because of like how much of an impact that it had on our clients and how much like people were actually talking about it in the first place.
Mm.
So I would say like that was probably a huge catalyst, like business wise, for me, kind of like just switching up my mindset and just like turning things around.
Mm. It's interesting. It's interesting what you said that the moments when you felt like you hit rock bottom were also the greatest like springboards in your life. And it's like a pattern, right? It's a pattern that you can even see uh throughout this episode. It's like at 20 I was in this place and it was rock bottom and I found the gym. At 24 it happened again. At a few years later when I'm starting my own gym and one of the trainers leaves and starts a rival company, we hit rock bottom again and then we do it again. It's like this it's a cycle of like building up and then almost like a destruction and falling down and then building up again. And it sounds very dramatic.
I wish it didn't have to happen like that, but you know,
Yeah.
the way that you're explaining it, I'm like, oh man, yeah.
But like, I'm curious when you reflect in that rock bottom, what is it that you're tapping into? Because there's something there, right? There's something that it's almost if you think of one of those like superhero movies and like you're almost you're tapping into a level of performance that is above your natural capacity. Like
Yeah.
what is that?
I like to call it my, well, now that I'm like thinking about it, it's like my DNGAF kind of just mindset and muscle. And that means just like do not give an F. Uh it's I remember when I was like first starting out as a trainer and people were like, you're gonna fail, man. You're gonna come back, you're gonna work the corporate life, and you're gonna have to start all over again. And every single time someone said that to me, I was just like, I didn't say anything back, but inside of my mind, I was like, I'm gonna make this happen, or I'm gonna die trying. I do not give an F. It's literally this idea where you are going to accomplish what you are going to accomplish, and it's just a matter of time, and you are going to exhaust every single opportunity. You're going to exhaust every single effort to get to that level that you know that you can get to. Another thing that also pops into my mind is the idea that I truly believe that no one is like talented. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. Like talent to me is just hours of practice and preparation. That is it. So like when people are like Mozart was like this talented composer and musician, yes, he was, but they didn't see the background where pretty much almost every single hour of his waking day was committed towards music, towards practice. So behind every single person that we see as like successful or whatever it is, talented, that is like what the average person would say towards someone that has done basically like 10 to 20,000 hours of work
Hmm.
to look as talented and as effortless as they do. What that tells me is that I remember thinking this. I'm like, if this guy can do it, I can freaking do it. Everyone's human, and 99% of us, we have the same capabilities. It's just a matter of thinking that it's possible and a matter of putting the work behind it to make it happen. So if I can just find whatever that is, and as I think as like Sahel Bloom says, is like create your surface area of luck. I think I do believe that if you can actually create a bigger surface area of luck for yourself through effort, through meeting people, through constant growth, through just strategy and also reading the right things, then there's nothing that is outside of our realm of possibility. So yeah, I would say it's like those things, and then every single time that those things happened, I like took a hard look in the mirror, and I was just like, "You gonna you gonna let this happen? All right, you want to quit?" You know, like I wasn't even looking in the mirror. It was basically like me looking at myself while like staring into like a pillow or something like that. It was like, are you really like fine? Cool? Do you want to quit? You want to let this happen? Do you want to let your business go and fail? Do you want to let COVID kind of just like just mess up your entire kind of like flow in terms of business? Like that's another thing. It was like, but it was a conversation with myself, and it's like, you can either let this like kind of like mess you up for the rest of your life, and then you can live under a bridge, or you can use this stuff as like energy. Which one's gonna be, buddy? And I choose every single time. Every single time is like I choose like, all right, I don't give a f. I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna die trying, and it just won't matter, right? And then at that point in time, when the result is already kind of like a foregone conclusion, you find the resources, you figure it out, and I truly believe that with like every single situation.